Hello everybody, Crow here, and as you can probably tell, this is a pickup only video. I'm going to stop doing the Crow show like I've been doing, where I've been throwing my pickups in that video, and I'm going to start doing pickup videos on their own. And I'm going to do a whole bunch of changes to the pickups, kind of make it a little bit more interesting, I hope. And to start with, I've actually made a new intro for my pickup videos. Let's go. Alright, before I get into the games, I'm actually going to cheat a little bit and I can't really show you a couple of the things I've picked up, and that's because I went to this website. It was called Vintage Gaming and More, and I was able to pick up some kits, mod kits, for both the Atari 2600 and the Atari 7800, and what I was looking for was an AV kit, and what I got with it was a little itty-bitty board and some wire, and basically, well, it didn't even come with instructions on how it was to wire it in, but I thought I'd show the end result. And this is the Atari 7800, and I installed some AV out on there. Now, there is a left and right channel output here, but it is just mono. It doesn't really have a stereo effect like that NES top loader mod I had shown before. But I'm so glad I did this, because the output on this is now crystal clear. Now, I bought two of the kits, because the same kit actually works on the Atari 2600, and I put it on this six switcher here. It's a light sixer. But yeah, I got the outputs here. It does have a lot better visual output than the RF out, but it's not quite as good as the 7800 for some reason, and I may have to go back in here and recheck the wires, make sure something's not, maybe wrapping the wires or something like that, because that does seem to help. But I also bought another mod for this, and actually those mod kits were around $22 each, and that was well worth the money. But I spent an extra $5 on LED light mod. And I don't know if you can see it up here, but I installed a little LED light there. It's blue light. I had a selection of colors to choose from, but let me just plug this in. I can kind of show that to you. Okay, so I got that plugged in. Let's turn that on. So now we know that the Atari has power. It's turned on, even if the screen is turned off. It's a really, really cool effect. I do like it. Of course, if you follow me on Twitter, you'd know this, because I did post pictures of this before on Twitter when I did it. And while we're talking about system mods, I'm going to kind of cheat here, and because I didn't buy anything for this, but I also modded my Odyssey 2 here with the same kind of AV out mod. So I've got the now a video and an audio jack here, just mono. I didn't install third jack. I didn't have any yellow jacks. That's why I used the black one for video. I can always change that if I wanted to. But the reason I did that is because the the AV mod for the Odyssey 2 is so insanely easy. You only need like three wires, and that's about it. One for video, one for audio, one for ground. And it was actually a video that War Putty did way back in February, and if I remember, I'll link to it in this video, where he basically linked to the site where he got, all it is a picture. I just followed a picture, but I also followed War Putty's video, because he had marked on the picture which one was audio and video, which wasn't clear to me in the original picture. So that helped me to get this out, and it looks great. It really does. But like when I put it back together the first time, it was, the video was all staticky. So I looked at it, and I wrapped the wires in electrical tape, and I took them, ran them along the side of the casing. And when I put it back together, it looked a lot better. So maybe doing some Crow Plays videos on any of these systems. I still haven't done any on the NES too. And I did 15 more videos, and none of them are on any of these systems. So next time I pull something together, I might have to pull out one of these systems to do that. So let's actually get into some pickups, actual video game pickups. Now, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I know that other people have done this, and the reason I haven't done it before is because I just wanted these videos to be kind of quick to put together in the past, but now I'm going to spend a little more time on them. I've actually played, for a change, all of these games before doing the video, captured some footage, and hopefully, if I'm looking correctly, I'm going to put some footage up here and maybe, show a little bit more after I'm done with each game. So that'll be the big change in these pickup videos, I think. But went to a disc replay, and most of these games are from disc replay, and I could not resist picking up quite a few titles. They had some titles there I hadn't seen before. First of which, they had a bunch of new long box PlayStation games I hadn't seen there before, and a lot of them look like they used to be from a rental store. And the first of these is Extreme Pinball. Now, I was kind of keeping an eye out on this one because Extreme Pinball, just because it's a pinball game, but because Extreme Pinball, I rented this one in the past, and I really didn't like it. And I, played it, got some footage of it, and I still don't like it. But, it was, it was like $4, so not too bad. There was no manual in here, though, just the disc. Oh, you know what? I neglected to mention, it says $4, but I actually got this for free. Because when the guy went and picked up this game from the back, he was like, this game is kind of scratched. You want to wait while I take a minute to rebuff it? And I said, sure, go ahead, rebuff it. So he went and put it in the buffing machine, came out, didn't take the scratch out. He's like, well, I could put this in the other machine, which will take care of the scratches, takes care of these deep cuts, but it'll take about 5 minutes. And I was like, sure, take your time, get that scratch out. And by the time it was all done, he already rang me out for everything else. So he was like, you know what, just, take the game, don't worry about it. If it does, I don't want to charge you for a game that might not work. So yeah, the game, I got home, the game works just fine. You're seeing some footage of it. And actually, after I'm done talking about each game, I'll go full screen and with the game, and so you can see a little bit more of it. Alright, the next game I bought is Frank Thomas Big Hurt Baseball. Now, I bought this one because I used to have this one. I used to play this one a lot way back when the PlayStation first came out. So it was, it's $3 or $3.99. And after playing this one a little bit, this game has not aged well. And this was another rental game. Sonya Video has got the label around the edge there, and the I don't think this is the original instruction manual. Actually, I think it's just the cover because the inside of the manual is missing. But you know what? For $4, and I was kind of itching to try this game out because I used to play this one a lot. It just does not hold up. I found it almost very, very difficult to swing and hit the ball when I was batting. So yeah, Frank Thomas Big Hurt Baseball.
Ball. The pitch is outside. The count is 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, no one on. Popped up to first, foul ball.
Actually, another PlayStation game, a long box. We have NHL Face Off. Now, this is the original one. And I remember renting this one a long time ago. And again, it was another $3.99 title. And I love these long boxes. And that's pretty much the reason I keep picking these up, is I like these long PlayStation long boxes. Back in the day, I used to think that, these long boxes, they're so big. It's so why such a big box when you could just fit it in a regular CD case, which is what they wound up doing eventually. But actually, in retrospect, I like these. And these are the better ones too, because these are the cardboard ones. They're not the plasticky ones like this one is. So these don't have a tendency to break as much as, they could get crushed, but they won't shatter or break like the other ones. And this one actually is not a rental copy. You got that, and full instruction manual for once. But yeah, playing the game after it's been such a long time, and I only rented it for one day. I remember that. But it was pretty easy to pick up and play. A couple of buttons aren't where I thought they should be, so I kept shooting on goal instead of passing. But that's just me, being not really familiar with the game. But yeah, it was pretty fun. I actually played a whole game, and I think it wound up in a tie. So make that of that what you will. Okay, and the final PlayStation long box game I bought was PGA Tour 96. Picked this one up, really, because it was only $2, and this case is in great shape. This isn't a rental game or anything, but this is a game I had rented in the past for a day, because I was into these golf games, and I was always looking for the right golf game. The right golf game never really came around to the Hot Shots Golf Series. But I did have, it was an interesting game. It really does not hold up by today's standards at all. You got the digitized golfers look on it, and I'm sure you can see that in the footage that I'm showing if I edit this properly. But yeah, we got the full manual and the disc. And, for $2, I don't think it could go wrong for a long box PlayStation game.
For the birdie to drop to 1 under. To remain at even par, he needs this putt.
Alright, got actually a couple of Sega CD games, and this first one is one that I didn't even know was on the Sega CD, and that's Bill Walsh College Football. And I think there's at least 2 of these Bill Walsh College Footballs on the Sega Genesis or the Mega Drive. I don't even know if it's on the Mega Drive. It may just only be a US release. This one may be a US release. Now, I picked this up, because it was... Oh, here we go. We got the price right there. It was $1.99, and the case is in phenomenal shape. So, worst comes to worst, I could take out, maybe a better game with a cracked case and swap it out with this one. The manual in this one is huge. It's maybe a little bit warped or bent. It looks like it's been bent. No big deal, though. I mean, you really don't see that from the front. And the disc as well. This may have been a rental copy in the past, but it doesn't have any rental stickers on it. Now, the thing I can't figure out is why this was released on Sega CD. The game itself looks exactly like the Genesis version of the game. You've got it doesn't seem to have any CD soundtrack. The thing that it even mentions here, all new for Sega CD, 3D sound effects. Now, that's true. It does sound like it has better sound effects than the Genesis version. Enhanced graphics throughout. You know what? I think the field actually scrolls a lot better than any Genesis version could handle. But the big thing that they threw on this disc was tons and tons of video of Bill Walsh himself talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. And it's the kind of thing you don't even want to watch after a while. I mean, you really, 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 really have to be into college football to find this stuff interesting. But yeah, that's Bill Walsh College Football on the Sega CD. And the last Sega CD game was one I never even heard of before. I saw this, and the cover art on this made me was like, I think I have to get this, even though it was $10.99. and that is Wirehead on the Sega CD. Now, I didn't... it plainly, from the back of the box, looked like a full-motion video game. Now, what type of full-motion video game? I had no idea. So, before I go any further, it even has the foam insert. But we got the booklet and the manual in there. But I popped it in, and the first thing that struck me was the really graininess of the video. But after a few minutes, your eyes do adjust to that, and you could play the game. And this actually plays a lot like Fox Hunt. I don't know if you're familiar with that game, but that game is a full-motion game by Capcom. It immediately struck me like Fox Hunt with a goofy comedy, spy, thriller-esque comedy, mostly comedy, video, you know. And I kind of want to... And it's kind of weird because you approach a scenario and it tells you which direction you can go. But if you choose the wrong direction, you immediately lose a life. So, this is all trial and error, really, until you lose all your lives, and then you have to start from the beginning, and then hopefully remember which is the right way to go again. So, really, it's all a memorization. If you're given the task to go left, straight, or right, and you go straight, and you're caught, you're like, okay, when I get to that point again, I can't go straight. I have to go either right or left. And then you basically repeat the process again and again until you supposedly beat the game. Annoying as that seems, I was kind of entertained by this game. So I'm glad I picked up Wirehead.
Keep driving, please. They're trying to kill me.
Where are you going?
I don't know. I guess out of town.
Alright, the last pickup from Disc Replay was another game I was really unaware of. I might have maybe seen, the name of this game somewhere in the past, but I never really thought about it until I actually saw it. And this is a Dreamcast game called Star Wars Demolition. Yeah, just Demolition. And what this is it's a vehicular combat, and it's actually made by the same people that made Vigilante 8 and Vigilante 8 2. And how do I know that? It's because it says it right on the case. And it's actually, I don't think it's that good as the car racing game. And it may just be because of the vehicle I chose. I chose a ATST to start out with, and the thing couldn't walk backwards. So I thought that was kind of weird. I have to try this again with something else. I find it interesting. You can be the Rancor or control the Rancor. You could be Boba Fett. You're riding the Light Speeder. And then there's some other stuff in here. Some stuff to unlock too. So it could be a good game, but I found it rather a little bit complicated. And you know what? I kept wanting to reach for a right analog stick while I was playing this game. And the Dreamcast controller just simply does not have one. So I kept, pressing my thumb against the plastic of the Dreamcast controller, wanting to desperately move the camera. But to no avail. But it's an interesting game, an interesting Star Wars game. Certainly not the worst Star Wars game out there. But yeah, that is Star Wars Demolition. And finally, the last game of this video is a game I won off of eBay. I actually put in a pretty low bid for this game, and I actually won it. I was kind of surprised. And that is Baseball Stars Professional for the Geo AES. I was actually out to eat, and I noticed there was really very few bids for this game, along with another one that a seller was selling, Writing Heroes. Was either Writing Heroes or Writing Hero. So I put in a bid for this game of like $25 or something like that. And I put in a bid for Writing Heroes for actually a little bit less, like $22. Now, I got outbid on Writing Heroes, but I somehow won this one. And this does not have everything. The box is a little bit beat up. Like you can tell, there's a little bit, the flap going on there. The bottom corner is a little bit roughed up. The plasticky insert seems just fine, though. And the cartridge itself, usually this thing is all tore up, too, in these cases. Am I showing the right part? I don't know. But the cartridge itself is in really good condition. I don't have the manual with it. But this is just one of those games I wanted to get, so I could have it in my collection. Baseball Stars Professional, you may better know this game on the NES as Baseball Stars. This is kind of an updated version of that game, but without the ability to edit your teams or anything. I found this game a little bit more difficult to play than Baseball Stars 2, of which I recently put up a video for, maybe about a week ago or so. And I still can't figure out what some of these people are saying on the cover. Like, this first guy is obviously saying, I'm a world famous baseball star. This guy, I have no idea what he's saying. He's saying, Arps Nintendo Subabi Uchi. I have no idea what he's talking about. And this guy here, hey, let's throw Miracle Ball. So I think we got some really, really good English right on the cover here. Hey, hi, with H-E-I. That's not even a word. H-E-I, 2 exclamation points. Let's throw Miracle Ball. Yeah, that's plain as day. I can read that, but that makes no sense. But yeah, this is actually the U.S. version as well. But it's an interesting game. It really is, and this is one of the early titles on the Neo Geo. So yeah, Baseball Stars Professional.
Strike! Strike 3! You're out! Foul ball!
And that actually wraps it up for this video. Hopefully this is... I can do this from now on for these pickup videos. I'm going to do these, not at any specific day. I was kind of trying to do them on Sundays in the past, but I think I'll just upload them whenever I make them. So yeah, if you like this format, and if I like this format, I'm going to continue it. I think I will like this format. You could give me your opinions too, but actually mine is the one that matters because I have to make the video. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Line up, they're just puppets. Hey.